What if your thoughts weren't your own? What if the government had a way to reach inside your mind, to erase memories, to control behavior, even to rebuild your personality from scratch? This isn't science fiction. This was Project MKUltra, the CIA's real-life experiment in mind control. One of the darkest, strangest, and most secretive chapters in American history. The story begins in the early 1950s, at the height of the Cold War. Fear ruled everything. Fear of communism, fear of nuclear war, fear that enemies could break the human mind. When American prisoners of war in Korea returned home brainwashed, the CIA panicked. If the Soviets could reprogram a mind, the US needed to learn how to do it better. So, under CIA Director Allen Dulles, Project MKUltra was born in 1953, a secret network of scientists, doctors, and military officers dedicated to one question. Can the human mind be broken, controlled, and rebuilt? What followed was not science, it was psychological chaos. Over 80 institutions, universities, hospitals, even prisons, unknowingly participated. Researchers used LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, electroshock therapy, and psychological torture, all in the name of national security. Some tests were voluntary, many were not. Unsuspecting patients, including soldiers, hospital patients, and even the homeless, were dosed with LSD without consent. In one case, the CIA secretly ran a San Francisco brothel known as Operation Midnight Climax. Agents watched through one-way mirrors as unknowing civilians were drugged and observed, their reactions meticulously recorded. Behind closed doors, human lives were treated as disposable data points in the search for mind control. One of the most haunting stories to emerge from MKUltra is that of Dr. Frank Olson, a US Army scientist. After being secretly dosed with LSD by his colleagues, Olson suffered a psychological breakdown. Days later, he fell or was pushed from a New York hotel window. The government called it suicide. But decades later, declassified files and forensic evidence suggested otherwise. Olson had begun questioning the ethics of MKUltra, and some believe he was silenced to protect the program. His death became one of the first cracks in the wall of secrecy surrounding the project. By the early 1970s, public trust in the government was collapsing, and so was MKUltra's cover. In 1973, as the Watergate scandal erupted, CIA Director Richard Helms ordered all MKUltra files destroyed. Tens of thousands of documents vanished overnight, but not all of them. In 1977, a surviving batch of financial records was discovered, leading to Senate hearings. For the first time, the American public learned that their own government had conducted illegal human experimentation for over 2 decades. The CIA admitted the program existed, but claimed it never produced useful results. The truth about MKUltra is still incomplete. We'll never know the full scope. The destroyed records guarantee that, but what remains is enough to make one thing clear. The project crossed every ethical line imaginable. It showed how fear and secrecy can twist science into something monstrous. And while MKUltra officially ended in the 1970s, its legacy echoes today, in debates about surveillance, privacy, and how far governments will go in the name of control. As new technologies emerge, AI, neurointerfaces, genetic manipulation, the question MKUltra left behind still haunts us. If we can control the mind, who controls the controller? Project MKUltra wasn't just a story about science gone wrong, it was a warning. When curiosity loses its conscience, the search for knowledge becomes a weapon. Thank you for watching. If this story opened your eyes to a hidden part of history, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that explore the dark corners of our past and what they mean for our future.